3:57 in the morning. That's the hour most people play this back for the first time. Not noon, not on a commute, not at a desk, not with headphones in on a treadmill. 3:57 in the morning. The hour when the noise of the day has finally gone quiet enough for something else to get through. By sunrise, that recording will have been played, by one estimate, over 4 million times in a single week. Not because an algorithm forced it into anyone's feed, because someone heard it and then sent it to someone else and said only this: "You need to hear this." No context, no explanation, just, "You need to hear this." That's the mystery we're going to sit inside of for the next while. Not who made it, not where it came from, but this. What is it about 11 minutes of one voice, speaking to no one in particular, that makes total strangers, separated by continents, languages, religions, ages, feel like it was written for them alone? Stay with me, because the answer isn't what you think. And by the end, it's going to ask something of you too. Let's start with what we know for certain, because there isn't much. There is no known author credited by name. There is no press release, no marketing campaign, no influencer launch. The recording surfaces first, as far as anyone can trace, on a small account with a few hundred followers, posted with no caption at all, just the audio, just the voice, and then it moves. It moves the way water moves downhill, not because anyone pushed it, but because it found the shape of something that was already there, waiting to be filled. Within days, it stitched into 100 other videos, translated, without permission or credit, into languages the original account never used. Read aloud by strangers over black screens, over sunrise footage, over shots of empty churches and full subway cars, and teenage girls doing their makeup in bathroom mirrors. And in the comments, thousands upon thousands of them, the same 4 words appear over and over from people who will never meet each other. How did you know? That question is the whole story. How did you know? Not who wrote this. Not is this true. How did you, whoever you are, wherever you are, know exactly what I needed to hear tonight? That's our hook. Not a person, not an event. A question that 4 million strangers asked in the same week, about the same 11 minutes, and meant it as if it had been written to them, and them alone. Here's where most documentaries would tell you the backstory of the person who made it. Who they are, what happened to them, what inspired the words. We can't do that, and we're not going to pretend we can, because the truth is stranger, and honestly, more useful than any origin story would be. The words themselves never once claim a name for their author. Listen again to how it begins. It's addressed to a daughter. Not a daughter. Not one particular daughter with a name and a hometown and a birthday. Just daughter. Singular and somehow universal. Which means every single person who has ever pressed play on this recording has had to make a choice, whether they realized it or not. A choice about who is speaking and who is being spoken to. For some listeners, the voice is unmistakably a faith they were raised in. The God of their childhood showing up in an unlikely place, an algorithm, at 3 a.m. For others, raised with no faith at all, the voice becomes something else entirely. A version of themselves, maybe, or a mother, or the person they wish had said these words to them years ago, when it might have mattered more. This is the part of the story most people miss on the first listen. The message never explains itself. It never argues for its own authority. It doesn't need to. It simply speaks, the way water finds the cracks in a foundation, not by force, but by patience, and by fitting exactly the shape of whatever is already broken. And that's the real context here. Not who said it, but when people needed it, and how many of them there turned out to be. Now, here is where the recording does something almost nobody expected the first time they heard it. For the first several minutes, the voice speaks only in the language of loss, of exhaustion, of a world that has, in its telling, gotten identity backward, measuring women by attention, by beauty standards built for cameras, by validation that evaporates the second the phone screen goes dark. 6 ICs, back to back, each one landing like a hand on a shoulder. And if the recording stopped there, if this were only a catalog of pain, recognized and named, it would still be moving. People cry at recognition. That part isn't the twist. Here's the twist. The recording doesn't stay in the language of loss. It pivots, and it does it without warning, in the space of a single sentence, into naming 4 women most listeners haven't thought about since a childhood religious class, if ever. 4 names. 4 women, thousands of years apart from the listener, invoked in the space of about 20 seconds. And according to nearly every account of how people responded to this recording, this is the exact moment where something shifts in the room. Because up until that point, the message has been telling the listener what she is not. Not her wounds, not her failures, not the world's definition of her worth. And now, suddenly, it hands her something to actually be. Not an abstraction, not a platitude. 4 specific women who, in the internal logic of the recording, were ordinary, unremarkable by the standards of their own time, and became history anyway. That's the small twist. The turn from comfort to charge. From, I see your pain, to, here is what your pain was never supposed to be the end of. It's a small hinge, but it's the one the entire second half of the recording swings on. From there, something changes in the architecture of the message itself. It stops describing. It starts commanding. Gently, but unmistakably. 4 stand firms. Then 4 more. It becomes almost rhythmic, a drum beat instead of a lullaby. And people who study how spoken word travels online will tell you this is exactly the moment where a listener either turns the recording off, uncomfortable with being told something after being so gently seen, or leans in closer. Because the telling, it turns out, is the thing they actually came for. Most people, according to the numbers, lean in. And this is where the story asks its real question. Not, who made this, but something much harder to answer. Why does a stranger's voice, telling you to stand firm in a life you're the only one truly living, land as relief instead of pressure? We asked that question to as many people as would talk about it honestly. And almost every answer circled back to the same idea, in different words each time. Because someone finally admitted the standing firm is hard, and loved me anyway, in advance, for however I manage it. So here's the reveal. Not a plot twist in the traditional sense. No hidden identity. No secret author unmasked. No last-minute confession. Something quieter than that, and in its own way, harder to look away from. The reveal is this. Nobody who has shared this recording cried to it, sent it to a daughter or a sister or a friend at 3 a.m. with the words, "You need to hear this." Nobody was told what to feel. The message never once says, "Now you will cry." It never instructs an emotional response. It doesn't manipulate toward one specific reaction the way so much of what we're fed online is engineered to. It simply says the same thing to everyone who presses play. You are seen. You are not your wounds. Stand firm. You are mine. And lets each listener build the rest of the meaning out of whatever they walked in carrying. Which means the real subject of this documentary was never really the voice on the recording at all. It's the 4 million rooms it was played in, the 4 million different griefs it landed on top of, the 4 million different women, and it turns out, no small number of men listening on behalf of daughters, sisters, mothers, wives, who heard the exact same 11 minutes, and each one, independently, in a room no one else could see, thought, "How did you know? It wasn't written for you. It was written for anyone." Which is, it turns out, a much harder thing to survive hearing. Wake up, daughter.